Good evening, everyone. Hello and happy Tuesday. This is Tuesday, November 25th. Our month is winding down, holiday week for everybody, but nevertheless, welcome to our Tuesday edition of our Leadership Development Call. My name is Miriam Kareem. So happy to have everybody here so that we can learn to build our businesses from some of our amazing leaders in our Green Organics company. Quick trip to Newbie Corner. So I don't know if some of you all came on late or were in on as soon as the starting let everybody into the meeting. But we're talking about how we all are on this health challenge. Well, some of us are, and this is a time when like kind of like midway almost, and well, not really midway, but we're a good ways in, and people are dropping off. But it's interesting how it's almost the same as building your business when you get that excited feeling in the beginning, and then you got to decide if you're committed to doing, the health challenge, committed to your health, committed to your business, and you will find out who's really committed and who's not. When it gets monotonous, and not really monotonous, but if, like I said, if you're not committed, it will be monotonous. If you're not committed, it will get to be, just boring, or just you can't deal with it, and it's just like, yeah, Jessica, one thing you do, one thing how you do one thing, you're going to do everything. So if you're not committed to a business, you're not committed to making sure you eat healthy, you're not committed to things that you start and you don't finish, then it's going to be hard for you to continue on in your business. It's going to be hard for you to make those calls. It's going to be hard for you to make sure you make send those messages out. So try to just stay committed to what you're doing. Okay. So that being said, I'd like to introduce you all to our teacher tonight, Coach Seymour Greenish Blake. He's is an amazing one of our uh, newest six-figure earners. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran, an amazing father, grandfather, a great coach. Always has really great information to really help you think. Very emotionally impactful. Whenever if you have had a chance to sit down and talk to this gentleman, he will definitely impact your life. So, Coach Seymour, are you available, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction, Mary.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
it is crazy, and it seems like every week I notice this more and more, and we hear Coach Will say this all the time. Is that we don't communicate with each other about what we only talking about or what my topic is going to be, but just listening to what you just said is exactly sort of what my topic tonight is going to be. And that's just crazy that it's always like that. That just shows that the way the system that we have, how everybody is always entwining with each other exactly with what we're going to be talking and what we talk about when it comes to the training, the teaching, the system, the whole nine yard. So with that said, tonight I got a very deep and interesting topic. I want everybody to clear your minds, clear your location, have your pen and paper ready, because what I'm going to be talking about tonight is exactly what Miriam just said, is exactly what she just said. And it also entwines with what we talked about last week. Last week, I talked about the ladies, how women are basically the blueprint of network marketing. They're the best when it comes to building the network marketing business. So if you remember what I talked about last week and what I'm going to be talking about this week, you're going to see where it basically comes together. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and go off camera so I can grab my notes and stay tuned with what I've got to bring to you guys tonight. So tonight's topic is build your network marketing business like a lioness. Build your network marketing business like a lioness. As Miriam said, I'm Coach Seymour Greenwich Blake. I'm the TGB Enterprise CEO. And tonight I'm about to take you deep, deep into the African grasslands. And I'm not saying literally take you there, but I want to take you there mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because everything I'm about to teach you tonight comes from the greatest hunters, organizers, protectors, and empire builders in the wild. And that's the lioness. When you learn to build your network marketing business the way that a lion hunts, your income, your mindset, your leadership, your ability, your entire team culture begins to change. Tonight, it's not just about training, it's about transformation. And I need everybody on the call in the room right now. And I mean, everybody, I need you listening. Stay locked in for the full journey, what I'm about to bring to you tonight. First, I want everyone to repeat with me what I'm getting ready to say here. Repeat it with me. I will build, I will hunt, I would lead, I'll protect my legacy, and most of all, I will win like a lioness. Let me say that again. I will build, I will hunt, I will lead, I will protect my legacy, and most of all, I will win like a lioness. And tonight I'm going to show you exactly how you do that. First off, let's step into the mindset of a lioness. Okay? When you see a lion, what do you see? You see confidence. But when you see a lioness, you see strategy. Two different things. In one, you will see confidence, that's the male, but in the female, you'll see strategy. And again, this goes back to last week. The lioness is the mastermind of the pride. She is the provider, the hunter. She's the one who brings the food, who protects the cubs, who manages the pride, who teaches the young, and organizes the hunt. That's the job of the lioness. Same as I said last week, the lady, the queen. She's the queen of the home. She handles everything in the home, while the husband is most likely most of the time the provider and the protector of the family. Again, like I said, the lion may be the symbol of power, but the lioness is a symbol of execution. So tonight I'm not going to be teaching you about, tonight I'm going to be teaching you about execution. I'm not going to be teaching you about motivation. I'm not going to be teaching you about hype, not about excitement, but about execution. Because motivation will fade. But lioness behavior creates generational wealth. And here's the mindset of a lion, and I want you to write this down. She never hunts alone. I'll say that again. She never hunts alone. She never wastes energy. Never wastes energy. She studies her target way before she starts to move. She studies her target way before she starts to move. She uses strategic positions. She uses strategic positions. One big thing is that she finishes what she starts. Again, she finishes what she starts. She brings the kill home. She brings the kills home. And 7, she raises her cubs to duplicate her. She raises her cubs to duplicate her. Now tell me that's not network marketing. The Lioness is basically the blueprint in that family. So let's break down those 7 things I just went over. Never hunt alone. The power is teamwork. Again, that's nothing else but network marketing. We in business for ourselves, but we're not in business, we in business for us, but not by ourselves. We have a team. We work as a team. Again, network marketing is not a solo sport. It's all about coordinated hunt. Lioness hunts together for one reason, the same as network marketing, why we build together, for leverage. For leverage. When you put 2 lions out there to hunt, the survival of a prey drops down to 50%. If you put 3 of them, it drops to 80%. When there are 4 or more, the hunt almost nothing escapes that hunt. This is what duplication does in your business. Most people fail because they're trying to do it alone when it comes to network marketing. You don't want to, you feel that because you've been in the industry for a while, you don't need to follow what your leader might be saying, or not your leader, but I won't put it that way, but what your coach might be saying, or what your support team might be telling you to do, because you've been in the industry. So you're going to do it your way and by yourself. And then if it don't work, then you complain about network marketing don't work. Network marketing don't do the job. You have to do the job, but you don't want to do it by yourself. Do it with your team. They're trying to prospect alone most of the time. They follow up alone. They present everything alone. They train alone. They encourage everything alone, and then they close alone. And then if it don't work, they complain. That is not how a lioness move. A lioness will top another lioness and say, "Come with me. We eat tonight." That's what you need to do with your leaders. A lioness doesn't compete against the pride. She collaborates with the pride. You want to build a 6-figure income network marketing business, you need to hunt with a squad. So say this again with me. Hunt squad. And your hunt squad is actually one of your prospects. It's the one that you strategize with, the one that you go live with. Sometimes it's the one who shows up when you call, the one who will work while others are asleep, the one who stays focused on the mission. And if you don't have a hunt squad yet, tonight is where you start building it. Tonight is when you need to start building it. Again, number 2, that she never she never wastes energy. A lioness does not chase everything that she sees. I remember when I first got involved with network marketing, one of the things that they said to us, anything within your arm reach, you should be talking about your business. But that's not a true fact, because then you start bringing in the wrong people in the business with you that don't last. So again, she does not chase everything she sees. She only chases what feeds the pride. Network marketing wastes energy on what? Negative people, people who don't want it, people who say, "I'm thinking about it," those who drain your time. They also waste time on people who promise but don't perform, people who wants the success but not the sacrifice. The lion does not waste energy, because energy is life. For us, energy is time. So I need you to say this with me again. Not every person is my assignment. Not every person is my assignment. Just like the lioness, you select your target. Some prospects are not prospects, they are distractions. Remember, your time is valuable, people. Next thing she does is she studies her target before she moves. She don't run blindly. She observes. She analyzes. She watch body language. She look for weakness. They predict behavior. We should do the same in network marketing. Because in network marketing, this translates to what? Learning your customers' needs. Understanding what your prospect values. Identifying who is hungry and who is not. Start listening more and be quiet most of the time. We teach you to ask the right question. Learn and understand what motivates each team member on your team. Because I'm going to say, before a lioness takes off running, she knows exactly where she wants to go. Before you start to talk, you need to know exactly where the conversation will end and where it should end. That's called leadership. Number 5, strategic positioning. That's the secret weapon of a lioness. In every hunt, lioness position themselves. One of their hunters will block the path. The other one will push the target towards the group. One will wait silently in the perfect spot, and one will close the deal. That is exactly how you should build your business today. You must position yourself where success can be found. That means being consistent on social media for one, showing up for your team, being visible, creative value, being a problem solver for your team, being the example, being the energy setter, and being the one who shows up even when others don't. A lioness does not wait for food to fall from the sky. She positions herself to win. We should follow that blueprint. Number 6, the process of the hunt. Let me take you step by step through this lioness hunt. And I want you to see the network marketing blueprint inside of it. Number 1, identification. Lioness don't hunt everything, like I said earlier. They target the opportunity with the highest return. In business, you should identify your ideal customer, your ideal leader, and your ideal influencer. They observe. A lioness will watch silently for hours. In business, you should study your market. You should watch the trends. You listen more than you talk, and you learn what people need. That's what we should start to observe. Coordination. Every lioness knows her role. In business, your team needs roles. A presenter, a trainer, a social media expert, a closer, a motivator, a follow-up, a specialist that is great in follow-up, basically. Execution. The moment arrives, they move. When the moment arrives, they move. No hesitation, no doubt. The same you should do in business. You invite, you present, you close, follow up, train, and duplicate. Number 5, completion. A lioness does not stop until the mission is completed. Does not stop till it's completed. In business, you don't stop until the person signs up. You don't stop until the customer places an order. You shouldn't stop until the new team member is trained. And you don't stop until the job is done. Don't quit. You should continue to complete the mission that you start. How the lioness builds her pride is through duplication. This section is everything. The lioness does not just hunt. She trains the cubs. In network marketing, you know who your cubs are? They're your new team members. They're your customers. Your leader is development. Lioness teaches the cubs how to stalk, how to observe, how to move, how to attack, and how mostly to survive. You must teach your team. You must teach your team how to invite, how to present, how to follow up, how to prospect, how to duplicate, and most of all, how to plug in into the system. The lioness does not create independence too early. She creates interdependence. That's the power of the pride. Duplication is not what you say. And understand that it's not what you say, is what they can repeat when you're not there. That's why we always hear Coach Will say, what is remembered is repeated. What's repeated is remembered. Okay? Because that duplication is what that we repeat, what you can repeat when your leader or your team member, coach or leader or support team member is not there. A lioness teaches her cubs until they become unstoppable. That's what you must do. Number 8, the lioness does not panic. When a zebra kick back, when the wind shifts, when the target resists, the lion stays calm. She stays focused. She don't panic. In business, a no one should not shake you. A setback should not break you. A slow month, it shouldn't stop you. A team member quitting should not distract you. Even a cancel order wouldn't discourage you. You should keep going. Don't panic. The lioness knows that there's always another opportunity. You must adopt the same calm, the same patient, the same confident energy. Number 9, protecting the pride. That's leadership. A lioness don't just hunt, she also protects. She guards the cub, she guards the pride, she guards their territory, and she guards their future. As a leader, you protect your team from negativity. You protect your business from distraction. You protect your mindset from doubt. You shall protect your consistency from excuses. And you shall most of all protect your culture from toxicity. Leadership is protection, guys. You want a strong team to protect the environment. Let's talk about the roar of a lioness. It's very confident. When a lion roars, she's declaring, I own this territory. Your role, you must have that same role in your business throughout your presence, throughout your consistency, throughout your results, your belief, your leadership, your training, most of all, throughout your posture. Your business grows at the level of your roar. Number 11, the lioness knows her value, and so should you. A lioness never apologizes for being powerful. She never apologized for providing, and she never apologized for leading. And you shall never apologize for being ambitious, for wanting more, for wanting to build a legacy, for building a business, for wanting financial freedom, or for being a leader. You shall never apologize for any of those. You have a lioness value. Number 12, applying the lioness strategy to network marketing. Now let's connect everything. Let's start to build like a lioness. Identify your target. Choose the people who wants it, not those that thinking about it. Start moving as a team and not as a solo person. Move as a team. Coordinate your strengths in your team. Execute with precision. Complete the process and then duplicate your actions. Hunt like a lioness. Prospect consistently. Follow up daily. Presents with posture. Close with confidence. Train with clarity and encourage with strength. Start leading like a lioness, guys. Protect your team. Develop your cubs. Build your pride. Remove excuses and raise your standards. You should have very high standards when it comes to building your team. And that way you will prospect the right people. We got to start thinking like a lioness. You got to be patient. You got to be very strategic. Be unshakable. Be system driven. Follow that system. We have a system in place that if we follow it, you cannot go wrong. It's been there and it's been sitting there for at least 6, 7, 8 years. Follow the system. Be team focused and very mission oriented. That's the blueprint. So let's talk about closing now. The Lioness legacy. So before I close tonight, I want you to understand something. A lioness never hunts for herself. She hunts for the pride. She hunts for her cubs, for the future. She hunts for generations. And that's exactly what you're building. You're building a legacy. You're not building for checks. You're not building for people to like on social media, your posts and stuff like that. You're not building for applauses. You're not building for validation, people. You're building for your legacy, your family, your last name, your future generation. That's who you're building for. Like a lioness, you are building something that will still feed your family long after you're gone. So stand tall, move boldly, build fiercely. Because from this day forward, you are the lioness in your business. You need to be the builder in your empire. You are the protector of your legacy. And you should protect that with your life. You're the leader in your team that your team needs. Tell yourself that you're unstoppable and understand it and believe it. You're powerful. You're destined to dominate. You're destined to dominate. I want you to tell yourself, and I want you to repeat this with me. I will build like a lioness. I will hunt like a lioness. I'll lead like a lioness. I'll protect my pride like a lioness. I will win like a lioness. This is your time. This is your season. This is your legacy. And like a lioness, you will not stop until you bring the kill home. Thank you, Pine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back to you, Marilyn.
Wow. That just, I don't know. I just finished writing my notes and I'm going to be listening to this again. So many gems that was dropped. You all please show Coach Seymour some love in the chat. I'm fired up. I'm a lioness. I'm fired up. So I don't know what else to say. I'm really, really fired up. I love the message. I love how he inspires you just to be better, just to be better. So I guess we'll bring Coach Will on now. He is our amazing seven-figure earner at our Green Organics company at HBN, and our first six-figure earner at Godasana in our at Godasana, an amazing teacher. Coach Will Zanders, are you available, sir?
I don't even want to be available. I, th I think next week we're just gonna leave it up to you and Coach Seymour. I'm gonna take a break next week. You can't follow this guy. You can't follow this guy. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, we got some updates tonight, which is exciting. But before we move on to that, thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Coach Marcus. Thank you, Coach Seymour. I appreciate y'all so much and cannot wait to see y'all soon. Um, Really just Coach Seymour left us with so many gems right there, as he always does, let's be frank. But a couple things that really stood out to me personally was the train the Cubs part. That is absolutely everything for people who are not on, who have your 2 to 3 people, or you sponsor 7 people, and then eventually 4 of them quit. The reason that happens is because it's the duplication part that has to happen during the training. Those Cubs are going to grow up and become Lions no matter what, but their mentality and their skill set is not going to be the same unless they're trained. Now, if you've ever had cats who had kittens, or you've ever studied lions like Coach Seymour, you'll know that when they play and they play young, they play rough. They'll grab by the scalp of the neck, and all they got is teeth and claws, and they learn how hard to go and how not during that training process when they're young. So that was absolutely critical. And the other part I really love, I love the whole thing, but the other part was having the protecting your team from negativity and toxicity, protecting your culture from negativity and toxicity without becoming negative or toxic. Lions are super good at that. But Cosimo brought that up, and that's something that once you've got that duplication part mastered, and once you know how to really train your Cubs, your team's going to grow. And once your team grows, then you have to evolve into that protective aspect of I got to protect my team from negativity. I protect my culture from toxicity without being toxic or negative. And that is a skill set advanced. So for basics, the training the Cubs, and then the advanced stuff, that protective culture and protective mindset is absolutely everything. So thank you, Coach Seymour, for that. And then you got to think about, why do lions do that? Like, why do they hunt? Everybody knows why they hunt, because quite frankly, they don't have a choice. And that is the main mindset shift that you have to become that lioness type network marketer, like Coach Seymour talked about. Lions have to hunt or else they die. You're not going to die if you don't build your business. See, that's the difference in their taking action consistently, and a lot of network marketers not, because you may not be happy, but you're comfortable. But if it came down to no food in the fridge, lights going to get cut off, you're going to starve to death, and your kids going to starve to death, you would take way more action. And a lot of network marketers have incredible stories about that. I was actually talking to Coach Steph yesterday. We're collaborating on some things, and they needed some input from our team on some things they're doing that our team has already done. So they have like a football league thing going on, which is really awesome. We did that, so she just wanted to get some coaching and kind of mentorship on that part about how to make that really great, which they're doing a great job, just like we did a great job. But one thing she said was, when she first got involved with HBN, her mentality was, she didn't say the word lioness, obviously, but the conversation came back to me when I was taking notes on what Coach Seymour said. She said when she got involved in network marketing, she was divorced and had 4 daughters and zero child support. And don't go telling this story. This is her personal information, so don't go, put this everywhere. But what I'm saying is, and she doesn't make any bones about it. She was divorced and she had 4 daughters. Okay, none of who were adults at the time that she joined HBN, and she didn't have a choice. She was like, I can't go get a job because I got 4 daughters and none of them are adults. I think Grace was the super youngest. So she had to be there, no support, no child support, no, they got divorced or whatnot. And her hunger level was here when a lot of other people's was here. Okay. You got to have that same type of mindset without losing your job or having no support for your kids or whatever. If you can just turn that switch and have that I gotta go get it mindset, you'll really be moving in that lioness type energy. And you see a lot of top earners like that as well. So that's it. And one more lesson you can take away from Coach Seymour, what he said. Well, we'll get to the training and the updates, don't worry, but this is good stuff. He gave y'all some gems. I hope y'all ready for that replay. Lions are experts in another area too. Okay. And he probably didn't mention this one because he was going to leave it for me to do, but didn't tell me that. So I knew we just be on the same page without even talking about the training. It happens all the time. Coach Marcus, Seymour, Miriam, it happens all the time. Lions are expert in time management. They are experts in time management, specifically productivity. Let me give you the schedule of a lion right now. This is how a lion spends his days. No joke. 16 to 20 hours is resting and sleeping. 16 to 20 hours a day is resting and sleeping, because all sleep ain't rest. Sometimes it's just chilling, just hang out, right? 2 to 3 hours a day are spent hunting. That's the time that you can build I said million, you can build a multi-million-dollar network marketing business in 2 to 3 hours a day. That's all it takes. It's all it's ever taken. It's all it ever will take if you're going to be productive. All right. Just because you're busy don't mean you're productive. So you can take a page out the Lion playbook. When you see them for that 2 to 3 hours a day, they are on the move. They are taking massive action and not just in their back office goofing off. All right. 2 to 3 hours a day, hunting. 1 to 2 hours a day is eating. They actually take that much time with all of the Cubs and the fellowship and the families, and they spend 1 to 2 hours eating. Okay. So think about that. You need to have that time too. What could that time be? Because you can eat for 1 or 2 hours, but also that time when you're not hunting, that 1 to 2 hours could be spent. That's when you do your management type activities in your back office and you're learning and doing managerial type things that you have to do to run your business, following up, things like that. Not actual hunting. That's 2 to 3 hours a day, but they spend 1 to 2 hours a day eating, and you can spend 1 to 2 hours a day just managing the business and doing those management type things that are not considered income producing activity. All right. And then they spend 1 or 2 hours a day patrolling, okay, patrolling and social behavior. They are social creatures. They hunt in packs, but they socialize as well. That socialization is important for you and your team as well. But that's an amazing breakdown for their day. And you can actually do it the same way a lion does it. But think about it. You don't have to sleep 16 to 20 hours a day. You can sleep 6 to 8 hours a day. And then you can take that other time, that other hours, that's when you're at your job. Okay. So you can still duplicate the same time management of a lion with that level of energy and productivity and success by sleeping 8 hours and not 20 hours, and you'll be good to go. And lions, Coach Seymour also told you this, their success rate of their hunt is not always 100%. The more the merrier, but it can be as low as 10, 20, 30, 50%. When you're building your business, you're not going to enroll every single person, nor should you want to. Okay. So that's just some tips that you can take away to really drive that point home. Also, while we're on the update schedule, for people who are attending the social media class this Sunday, I don't know, some people have reached out about it, some haven't, but we'll make a regular announcement. But for those of you who are attending, do me a favor, because this is a social media class only on Sunday and AI only, and people are asking, kind of, Will, why are you posting what you post? Why is only 1 out of 10 posts a business post? Why are your stories the way they are? And I gotta explain this to people who didn't know this. You can get paid for posting on Facebook if you do it the proper way. And a lot of people are not monetized yet. You have to get invited to that program. So for anybody who's not already monetized on Facebook, the class this Sunday is specifically for those people. And if you're attending and already paid to attend, number one, please make sure your profile is public before the class. Number two, make sure your profile is on professional mode. And number three, make sure you have gone through your Facebook friends list between today and Sunday. Take away any people that don't engage or that are great pictures and invite. Your friends list before that class needs to be at least 4,000 people. If your friends list is not 4,000 people by the time we start that class, I will refund you and you will not be allowed to attend the class because you just don't have the number of people to get invited to the program. And then I will give you the next steps to make sure that Facebook sends you an invite. And then you have to click learn more and that's going to be considered yes. And then you'll start earning off anything you post. Based on that information, I can tell you, I used to make a nickel, a dime, a quarter on some posts. Then I got up to hundreds of dollars a month. And now I'm finally at the point where once we incorporated the AI, which will also be teaching you some advanced stuff on that this Sunday. Once I incorporated that, I went over the $1,000 mark with social media earning. And at the worst case scenario, it should at least be covering your auto ship. And this is only available for people who are in the continental United States. I don't think our Canadian team or our team in Trinidad and Tobago qualify for that. So don't worry about that. All right. So that's some other announcements. And I think we're good. Okay. More updates before we get into the short training tonight. Las Vegas, we've got an email back accepting our bid for the event. So that was really cool. That came up this weekend. So that was fun. The event is going to be January 11th and January 12th. That is a Sunday and Monday in Las Vegas. Prices right now are very competitive in a good way for accommodations. The event will be at the Orleans Hotel and Casino at 4500 West Tropicana Avenue. I think we were there 2 or 3 events ago. We were going to do a standalone venue, but everybody is always on my head about, Coach, we don't care if it costs more. We want to be at the hotel with the meeting in the hotel because it's so convenient. And I said, okay, well, you got it. So we were able to pull that off. That's great. So we back at the Orleans, which is going to be super, super fun. The Orleans Hotel and Casino at 4500 West Tropicana Avenue in Las Vegas. We have one bonus event on Sunday night, and then we have 2 bonus events on Monday. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. And we got some guest speakers coming in. So it's going to be a blast, but I'll get more details at. But that's going to be the venue, and there are very competitive rates there. Feel free there. As long it's whatever one it was like 2 or 3 events ago, it was that one. Whatever that one was. And y'all know when we go to Vegas, it's amazing. VIPs, of course, are going to be y'all in for some serious treats. The casino there has been expanded to over 130,000 square feet, 10 restaurants on site, so you're not going to get bored from eating. Gym, game room, full bowling alley, and one of my favorite things about this particular venue, free parking. There is free parking. You cannot put a price tag on free parking, and it is only about a mile away from the strip, so it's about 5 minutes. So you don't have to be on the strip, but you're right there, and you can go hang out, and it's a lot of fun. But everything's under one roof. You could literally spend the whole weekend there and have an incredible time and never run out of stuff to do. All right, enough updates for now. And if you don't already have your ticket, please get it. It's going to be amazing as always. I think Nashville took the training from here to here. And Vegas, as you know, we're going to take the training and the fun from here to here. And it's going to be a blast. All right, here's the training tonight. The things that you want are not missing from your life. They are simply invisible. Okay? The things that you want in this business and out, they're not missing. They're invisible. All right? What does that mean? This one shift that I'm about to explain to you changed how I operate and the results I get in my business and my life. This one shift, if you can get it, if it just clicks for you tonight, I really hope it does. It will change how you recruit, how you lead, how you duplicate, and possibly how you live. Because most people quit because they think their goals aren't happening. But you got to understand, nothing in your life is missing. It just hasn't materialized yet. Okay? Oxygen is invisible, but it keeps you alive. Okay? Gravity is invisible, but governs every motion. Subatomic particles are all around you. Okay? You can't see them, but subatomic material forms everything you touch. Your rank, your team, your income, your next 20 leaders, they already exist, just not in a visible form yet. And I want to explain to you, your eyes, the human being's eyes as a mechanical part, as biological machinery. The human eye is wonderful, but it is a very limited device insofar as the color spectrum it can see. It can only see 3% of things that exist. Anything above or below a certain range of the color spectrum, the human eye cannot perceive it. Okay, like 97% of stuff that exists, you can't see. For example, it's the same way like an eagle. If it's flying, it can see a mouse. It can see a brown mouse in a field of brown grass, and the eagle's way, 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 way up in the air, and it can key in and see that because the eagle's eyes are finely tuned machinery that are superior to the eyes of a human being. By the same token, a dog whistle, for those of you who have dogs, if you blow a dog whistle, you and I can't hear it, but the dog hears it. Just because you can't hear it, does it mean it's not making a tangible sound? No, it's just above the frequency that the human ear can detect. So that sound, you can't hear it, but it's still a real sound. That brown mouse in the field, you can't see it, but it's still really there. It's the same thing with the subatomic material that surrounds everything and creates everything, okay, solid and not solid. It's really there. You can't see it. So just because something is invisible, it doesn't mean it's missing. The results you want already exist. They're just not in a form yet that you can see. And that's the foundation of leadership. A leader learns to trust what is not visible yet. Okay? Now, I'm going to prove that to you scientifically and spiritually. All right? Quantum physics proves something very wild. And I know a lot of our leaders have heard of this before. Particles, that subatomic material that creates all things. Okay? Because if you break down atoms, you can break them down into different subatomic particles. Subatomic particles arrange and rearrange themselves based on the observer who's looking at them. And this is a scientific experiment you can research called the observer effect. It's fascinating, okay? When you observe lack, you create more lack. When you observe fear, you reinforce and create more fear. When you observe your diamond rank or your income level as already real, the subatomic particles will reorganize to match your expectation. Intention and expectation are huge. Okay, they're huge. You get what you really expect deep down if you really think about it. Okay. Now, the Bible said this long before science ever did. All right. Your thoughts are not weak wishes. Your thoughts are creative commands. It's the whole, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's the whole, let the weak say I'm strong. It's all about that process of mindset that we've been going over for the last month. And understanding that or doing that, moving in that type of way, accidentally or on purpose, this is why some people explode in network marketing and why other people kind of stall. All right. Leaders who believe it's already theirs, right? And they believe that it's already there. They just can't see it yet, but they know it's there. They attract the timing, the people, and the opportunities that match belief. Okay, I'll prove it. How many times have you seen 3 people start network marketing company at the same time with the same amount of experience and have wildly different results, even if they live in the same state? One person will be super successful, go to the top of the pay plan. One person will be doing terrible and quit. The other person will be right in the middle and just kind of easing through, right? It's all here. It's all here, okay? Oh, congratulations. Kyla's on the call. Everybody give Kyla a shout out. That's Shauna's guest. Everybody give her a shout out. Welcome her to the call in the Zoom chat. Y'all show Kyla some love, please. Thank you. All right. Now, in quantum physics, everything exists as what they would call a waveform, all right, or pure potential. All of these subatomic particles that we can't see, but they're all around me. They're all around you, okay, all the time. They're not solid. They're not fixed. They're not decided, all right? They can become anything. Your business, your rank, your next 20 leaders, they all exist in that waveform field, okay? You just got to understand that. It's like in the book of Hebrews when they talk about how faith is evidence of things unseen. Faith is a substance. If someone has that quote and they can put in the chat, put Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 in the chat for me. All right. This is Paul talking directly to them folks, right? Talking directly to us on this one. Hebrews 11, chapter 11, verse 1. All right. Now, the Bible's going to call it faith. Science is going to call it a probability wave, right? Network marketing is going to call it belief posture. All right. But the principle is identical. Thank you, Coach Marcus. Got it. Let's see what we got. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Thank you, Coach. It's a substance. There is literally a substance, subatomic material. It's a substance. It's a physical thing, a substance that is all around you, and it is the substance of things hoped for. The things you want are not missing. They're invisible. They are all in this substance, and until you focus your thoughts on it, that substance will never compact into what it is you want. All right. Now, in those experiments, like the observer effect, subatomic particles act different when they're being observed by a person. So science is able to look at these particles, look at this subatomic material, this substance of things unseen that is all around you. And when no human being is looking at them, and the camera that can see these things is recording them on a subatomic level, these machines, right, that can see in things that we can't see. When a human being is not looking at them, they're just moving as a wave, and it's called unlimited potential. It could become anything. This phone is made out of atoms, but the case is made out of atoms as well. Everything is made out of atoms. Atoms even come together in such a way where they create molecules and they create cells. Your physical body anyway, not the real spiritual you, but your physical body is also made out of atoms as well. Hence, the first person in the Bible's name was Adam. The original language would be Adam, which is where we get the word Adam from. It's the beginning. It's the first. Everything's created from that. There's a hint there, okay? When you're not looking or focusing on them, they're a wave pattern that is unlimited potential. They can create anything, anything. When you observe them, when you focus your faculties on those waves, they become solid. They become solid. And that is very important to realize because, quite frankly, observation turns your possibility into reality. Observation turns your possibility into reality. This is why if people grow up in an area with no money and they're broken, they're in the hood, like where I grew up, you often see that, and that typically begins to self-replicate because that's your thoughts. But when you learn how to ignore what you see, when you learn how to ignore what you see with your eyes and use your spiritual eyes, which is your imagination, when you use your imagination, okay, you can create the things that you want to see in thought, all right? And the subatomic particles will react to that, which is why distraction is so dangerous, all right? Now, again, we're talking about things you create. We're not talking about divine revelation. You can get that from God. That's a whole separate call. But I'm just talking about your information right now, all right? Now, understand this from a spiritual and physical standpoint. Well, thank you, Mimi. You operate in two dimensions at one time, okay? Because remember, you're a spiritual being undergoing a human experience. You're not a human having a spiritual experience. You are eternal spiritual being, period. You are a soul, a spirit. You are rolling. You are eternal. Your physical body, not so much. But it's like with anything physical, all that stuff goes, right? All that stuff fades away and goes away, right? But you don't. The real you does not. So you have an invisible dimension that you operate in, and every leader, the version of you want to be, every customer, every rank, it already exists in the invisible dimension. It exists in waveform. It exists in unlimited potential. It exists already. You can't see it. It don't mean it's not there. I cannot emphasize that point enough. And then you also have the visible dimension, which you're only experiencing the part that you've already observed, believed, acted on. You don't create from nothing. You're selecting from any number of outcomes, and that's the free will that God gives. You can choose any outcome you want, even if it's bad. And the law is going to operate regardless of your ignorance of it. So people mentally choose to focus on things that are not in their best interest all the time. We just don't want it to be you. Okay. Now, as we get to the wrap on the call, I'm going to give you a couple step formula that'll just kind of help you start to get into the habit of focusing on the outcome, expecting the outcome, taking action toward the outcome, and speaking and acting like it's real for you. Okay. This is not a cult. This is not some weird ritual. This is not sorcery. This is just alignment. This is spiritually sound. It's scientifically proven. It's really just cultivating your thoughts in according with the verse that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Okay, your brain is electric, your heart is magnetic, and you put things out into the atmosphere with your brain, and then your heart pulls back the things that you put out there in thought. Your heart pulls them into physical reality. Now, most reps are going to collapse the wrong wave. When I say collapse the wave, I mean, you're going to take that waveform, that unlimited potential that's just flowing around, you're going to focus on it and you're going to collapse it. You're going to make it become solid and become something that you want. The pin won't necessarily fall out the sky. It could, but probably won't. It's probably going to come about in some natural, organic channel. I need you to understand just where we're at the level of human consciousness. It's not to say that one day we won't be able to operate as Christ did when he was pulling gold coins out of a fish mouth and turning water into wine. And he's doing these things in real time. But what did he say in the good book? He said, everything I've done shall ye do, and even greater work shall ye do. But as a people, as a species, we have to evolve our consciousness to that level. I hate to break it to you, our collective consciousness is not there yet. It's just not there yet to the point we pulling stuff out of thin air and money has no purpose. We're going to get there. I hope I'm alive to see it, but we're just not there now from a collective consciousness standpoint. But I believe the good book when it says that we will achieve the things that Christ did and even greater works than we'll do. I believe that. I truly do. Now, as of right now, though, we have the ability to focus our thoughts on the things we want. We have to ignore the negativity that comes around. And then the things that you want are going to occur in this really seemingly random, but it's not, sequence of natural organic events. And it's going to get the things that you want into your life. And a big part about being an adult is really learning these skills and using these skills to create the life that you want for you and your family. Okay, this is why TV is so dangerous. You'll spend 3 hours on TV and watching TV, thinking about whatever the TV's on, instead of learning how to use your mind and create your actual reality. All right. When a lot of people join a network marketing company, they end up collapsing the wrong way because they have thoughts like nobody joins. Well, nobody's going to join you, right? My team is slow. Well, yes, your team will be slow. I can't hit the rank. All right. Well, you won't because you're thinking that you can't hit it. Or my leaders aren't really putting in work. Well, that's going to all be a reflection of your thoughts. These are not descriptions. These are observations. And once they are observed, they solidify and what people call manifest. They come into physical reality once you observe them, okay, for long enough, especially if you have a strong emotion tied to the observation, all right? Your belief is going to select the outcome. Your behavior is going to lock it in, all right? So here's the steps, and we'll wrap the call with this. Step number one, you don't collapse every possibility. You choose one possibility. So you choose one thing as this thought experiment that I know will work. It's a law. You can choose your rank, your timeline, your volume you want, the number of personals you sponsor or customers. You have to choose, all right? And choice is the first act of creation. So that's number one. You have to choose what it is you want. Choose the wave. Choose out of all the infinite possibilities, just pick one of them in relation to your business. Number two, observe the outcome. Now, I'm going to give you 5 words right now that are absolutely crucial for you to get this second step correct, all right? Observe the outcome daily. That's what you need to do. But I'm going to give you 5 words that are really going to make this step, these words are magic for this step. So step number 1, you choose the possibility that you want. All right. Anything you want, you choose. Number 2, you observe the outcome daily. Now, here are the 5 words. You observe the outcome daily, regardless of what you see. All right. You have to observe the outcome in your mind daily, regardless of what you see. You can't let anything you see with your physical eyes throw you off what you need to be seeing with your spiritual eyes, using your imagination. Okay? It's called deliberate mental observation. You are literally closing your eyes so you don't see nothing you don't want to see. And you're going to spend at least 2 to 3 minutes a day, like right after you finish your breathing exercises with the emails. Once you figure that part out and you get your breathing exercises done, put a 1 in the chat if you're already subscribed to our the Do Good, Feel Good, Be Good email list. I know I'm not the only one. Put a 1 in the chat if you already subscribed. You've been getting incredible value from those. All right. So this is something you would do direct good. I'm glad to see all them ones there. This is what you do after you finish your breathing exercises, because those breathing exercises are going to put your mind in a theta wave brain state. A theta wave brain state is the ideal brain state for communication with the morphogenetic field. It's good for communication and putting the thoughts out there to start to create your physical reality. Congratulations, Francine. Good stuff. She just subscribed. And yeah, Francine's in Canada. Francine, this is an amazing thing, especially for our overseas team members. I'm pretty sure she made that program with y'all in mind. So that was great. Now, during that 2 minutes, when your eyes are closed and you're observing the outcome that you want to see on a daily basis, regardless of what you see in the physical with your eyes, you're going to be using your spiritual eyes. And it doesn't take but a minute or two, but you need to see the volume in the back office. That 6 and 7 figure volume. You need to see messages coming into your phone. So-and-so joined, so-and-so joined, so-and-so joined, right? You need to see your leaders promoting. Okay, Ms. Hines just asked how to subscribe to the newsletter. You can go into your GoDasana back office, and there's going to be a little box there that says subscribe already in the back office. If you're not already with GoDasana, you can get with your sponsor or the person who invited you to the call. But I know Ms. Hines is already with us, and they can talk you through that process of subscribing to the best newsletter in the world today. It's absolutely incredible. Over 360 days of absolute fire, and I love it. All right. You want to have your eyes closed after you finish your breathing exercises. You want to see the rank that you're at in your imagination and how you would be acting and who'd be talking to you when these things are happening. Thank you. Blue box, white type. Exactly, Richard. You want to see your lifestyle changing in your imagination. When you do these things, you are observing the subatomic material. And the second you start this process of looking at the volume, you're welcome, seeing the messages coming, seeing the leaders and recruits join your team and promoting products, and you getting a new medal or a new award at the next event, and you see your posture changing in your imagination, you are giving form to the invisible. So that's the first 2 steps. Number 1, you choose what you want, select the possibility. Number 2, observe the outcome daily, regardless of what you see. Does anybody have any questions on step 1 and 2 before we go to question 3? I know I'm talking fast, but I want to get y'all out of here remotely close to on time. All right. No questions so far? Perfect. If you have questions, stop and put them in the chat. Step number 3. All right. Once you're done with your using your imagination for that day, all right, you only got to do this once a day. You don't have to do this 20 times a day. You doing it once is enough to put it off into the field. In fact, if you do your breathing exercises and then do that imagination exercise more than once, it's actually not good. Well, why? I want to do it 20 times. Don't do that. It's not like affirmations. This is a different level. This is as if you went to Del Frisco's Steakhouse and you order, the prime, or you order the tomahawk steak, and the waiter takes your order and they're walking to go put your order in. You say, waiter, stop. I want to order, come here. I want to order that tomahawk steak again. They go, sir, you already ordered it. You want 2 of them? No, I just want 1. I just wanted to tell you again to make sure you got it. He's like, okay, let me go put this order in. and he goes to the back to start to get the tomahawk steak situated. But before he gets there, you call him back over again and say, hey, did I tell you I needed that tomahawk steak? Because, right, you don't forget something important the first time you hear it. You know the way God set this universe up, just the way he set up the atoms and the particles, they ain't forgetting nothing. You need to imprint them during that 2-minute period of visualization and imagination right after you finish your breathing exercises, because you're in the theta wave brain state, and all you have to do is follow those steps. So step number 3, agree with your outcome through identity. All right. You don't get what you want a lot of times. You get what you are. All right. So you ask yourself, this is very important. You ask yourself these questions. How does the next rank level of me talk? How do you talk? How does that version of you talk? How does the next level, that diamond level, that 6-figure diamond level, that 7-figure diamond level, that captain of the week, how does that version of me talk? How does that version of me follow up? How does that version of me post? How does that version of me lead? How does that version of me respond to inevitable setbacks? Okay, so figure all of that out and go be that today. Be that person today, because identity is the frequency that draws future into the present. Okay, into the present. Lee just had a great question. Lee, I do diaphragmic breathing, but I still keep the same counts that are in the email step by step. Yeah, the diaphragmic breathing is a deeper form of breathing, very important, but still follow the steps in the seconds, in the releasing and the holding. Follow it exactly as the email lays those out. All right. Step 4. All right. So we got step 3. You have to I agree with the outcome that you want through your identity. Okay. Identity is the frequency that draws the future into the present. Okay. Into the present. Now, observation begins the collapse. Is step number 4. All right. Step number 4, you want to move into the direction of the collapsed wave. You want to move into the direction of the outcome that you want, because observation is going to begin the collapse, begin the solidification of the things that you want. Those atomic particles, those subatomic material is going to start coming together when you observe, but your movement, your action is going to complete it. Your action is not hustle. Your action is spiritual alignment. Your action is not striving. Your action is spiritual alignment. When you send messages, when you post, when you reach out, when you train the Cubs, right? When you teach, when you invite people, when you show up to events, every action that you take is a vote for the reality that you're creating. That's why it's so important for you to remain in action while these invisible organic processes are taking place. Every action is a vote for the reality you're creating. Brings us to number 5. This is my favorite step. All the steps are important. You can't skip one, but this is one of my favorite steps. Step 5, ignore the old reality while it dissolves. Okay, ignore the old reality while it dissolves. This is where most people sabotage themselves. They visualize the new reality, but they emotionally react to the old one. Okay, they collapse the wave, they observe, they do all of the exercises, then they uncollapse it. You can't operate 2 waves at one time. When you visualize that new reality in your imagination, you got to stick with that. And anything that doesn't look like that, that tries to come into your reality, you don't have to fight with it. You have to ignore it. Okay? Stay aligned with your new reality by ignoring the old reality. Okay? Last step, number 6. Give thanks before your desired outcome appears. Give thanks before your desired outcome appears. Okay? Gratitude is what locks in that change. Gratitude is what seals in the collapsing of that wave we talked about. You can thank God for your rank and for your leaders and for your health and for your family. You can thank God for your income shifting before it even does. You can thank God for momentum before it's even in your team. You can be thankful for the breakthrough before you ever had the breakthrough, because gratitude is going to turn invisible promise into visible form. Okay? Gratitude is going to turn invisible promise, invisible substance, and everything else into a visible form. Giving in gratitude is absolutely important, as is belief, agreement, action, all right? Gratitude, reality, all right? Just understand that. And so we'll close the call with this. Nothing that you desire is missing, not one thing. It's only invisible. And the invisible can become visible for you based on your behavior. The rank you want exists. The 20 or so leaders you want to join your team, they exist. The momentum that you want to see and feel in your business, it exists. You just simply have to collapse the wave, right, with your mind. All right. And activate the visible with your actions and lead from completion, not doubt. Lead from completion, not doubt. And what you see must appear in your business. All right. What you see must appear in your business. Your future already exists. Your next rank already exists. The team you want already exists. Your job is not to search for it per se. Your job is to collapse that wave with your intentions and effort and focus. Collapse that wave and then walk into it. That's your job. All right. So the invisible is not missing. It's becoming. Just because you can't see it doesn't make it not real. All right. Thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Coach Marcus and Coach Seymour as well. We will wrap this one up for tonight. If anybody has any questions, put them in the chat. Or if you got value from this call tonight, put a 1 in the chat so we know to continue to do calls like this. All right. For everybody else, if you got questions, you can reach out direct to your leadership team on Facebook anytime, and we will see you tomorrow. Y'all catch the next one. Thank y'all so much. God bless, and we will see you on the next one.